Welcome back to everybody on the Football Zone and to a weekend previewing the Premier League games coming up this week. But before we do that, we're going to have a quick rundown of everything we've seen in the week in the Europa League and the League Cup. And starting off with the Europa League, and a good win for Villa, a 1-0 win. John McGinn in the first half, and the second half penalty miss over Bologna. Again, they expected to win, but important for them to start right. But Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest remain winless in his time in charge after a 2-2 draw at Better. So went behind, but then 2 goals from Igor Jesus in quick succession. But that man, Anthony, equalised. And yeah, this was a game that Forest really dominated and should have been out of sight. Hugely frustrating. And yeah, you feel like you need to get that first win under Ange soon. In the League Cup, there weren't too many surprises. Brighton with a 6-0 win, an incredible hat-trick from Gomez. Go check that out. Cardiff, though, stunning Burnley of the third tier, so really impressive that. Lincoln were ahead against Chelsea briefly, but Chelsea unsurprisingly turned it round. Wolves picking up some momentum in the League Cup, but just not in the league with a 2-0 win over Everton. I think Everton will be disappointed with that. And Liverpool were far from their best. Ekitike with a red card, misses this weekend, going for a stupid sending off, but just about coming past Southampton. And then on Wednesday, it's more comfortable. Man City, Newcastle, Tottenham and Arsenal all winning pretty comfortably. So yeah, no major shocks like Grimsby beating Manchester United in this round of the League Cup. Moving on then to this weekend's Premier League action, and starting off with Brentford against Manchester United. And yeah, this is an intriguing game. I think both teams coming into this one with a bit of pressure. Manchester United obviously got that big win. Brentford losing out to local rivals Fulham, never the ideal result. But yeah, for United, it's a winnable game. It's all about building momentum for them. So yeah, it'll be intriguing to see how this one goes. And I genuinely feel like it could really go either way, this one. So I'm going to say it will be a 1-1 draw. Moving on then to Chelsea against Brighton. And yeah, this is an intriguing game. Chelsea probably haven't had it all their own way recently, in the Premier League. 1 point from the last 2, and obviously that lost to Bayern. So yeah, it's probably been a bit disappointing for them so far. They'd want to be on a bit more than 8 points. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one against the Brighton side, who I still feel are taking some time to click. Results have been okay. So yeah, it's about really building momentum both these sides, and I think Chelsea could get the win here. Moving on then to Crystal Palace against Liverpool, and I think, yeah, it's an interesting one with Liverpool because I still haven't been totally convinced by what I've seen of them in the Premier League thus far. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how against Crystal Palace, for me, who have done really well so far this season, just look a good team. How they'll fare against them. I feel like Crystal Palace will kind of come into this one fancying their chances of getting at least some result, and I can actually see it happening, to be honest. I think Liverpool, have they played well enough to win all games so far this season? No. I'm going to say they'll drop some points here. 1-1 for me. Moving on then to Leeds against Bournemouth, and yeah, this is another interesting game because Bournemouth, has started the season so well, been so impressed with what they have done so far. So yeah, it's going to be a very intriguing one, this one. But Leeds, have got that win at Wolves. I think, like all the promoted sides really, have started off the season quite well so far. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one this week. So yeah, I'm going to say it will be 1-1. I don't think there'll be a lot separated to Ellen Road. Moving on into Man City against Burnley, and for Man City, yeah, they'll be absolutely devastated not to get that win against Arsenal last week. You feel like that could have been such an important win for them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I think Burnley coming into this one, it will be a free hit for them, won't it? I mean, they've done alright so far this year. I mean, great point last week against Nottingham Forest, but yeah, I still think they'll see this one as a bit of a free hit, and I'm going to say it will be 3-0 to Man City. Moving on then to Forest against Sunderland at the City ground, and yeah, this feels like a big game for Ange Postecoglou, but of course Sunderland, even like that game against last week against Aston Villa, was so impressive by them, playing with 10 men for most of the match and still getting a result. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy game at all for Ange Postecoglou's side, but it does feel like he could really do with that first league win to calm some nerves and get the fans on side, replacing a hugely popular manager in Nuno. Speaking of Nuno, 2 of his former clubs collide as Tottenham take on Wolves at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and yeah, this is an interesting game. Tottenham, I think, really starting to click into gear now. It's been a pretty solid start to the season for them. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this one, against the Wolves side who haven't got any points so far, and you feel like they've got to get a point soon, but they've just given the manager a new contract, so who knows. But I still think Spurs will get the win here. I think they'll have too much for Wolves. Moving on then to Aston Villa against Fulham, at Villa Park. And yeah, this is another interesting game. Villa coming into this one, obviously off the back of a hugely disappointing start. Goals is their issues. Fulham starting to show a bit of form now as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting game, this one. Big game for both these sides. Villa need to start scoring some points. Fulham, I mean, they need to keep up the momentum. So yeah, it genuinely feels like it's a game that could really go either way as well. But I just think Villa have got to get a big win at some point, and I think it could well be the occasion. 2-0 for Villa for me. Moving on into Newcastle against Arsenal at St James's Park. And yeah, this is another interesting game. Newcastle, for me, they've started to get into gear. Obviously, the season has been disrupted by everything that happened with the likes of Isaac earlier in the season. Arsenal, for me, look a decent team, but at the same time, we've dropped points in big games so far this season. So it feels like this could be another close game. I'm going to say it'd be a 1-1 draw. And in the David Moyes derby, Everton take on West Ham at Goodison Park. And yeah, this is another interesting game. Everton doing really well. Graham Potter on borrowed time, but it looks like at time of recording he'll be in position for this game, which is probably an advantage. Everton just really struggling at the moment. I've been impressed with what David Moyes has been doing so far this season, so I feel like he could very well come back to haunt his former team here and pick up a win. I'm going to say it'll be 2-1 to Everton.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.